Ministering Angels by Lori A. Thompson. Chapter 20. Forgotten Area. The storm is still raging. The rolling thunder adds to the boys' excitement in their pursuit. It doesn't take long, and Andrew knows exactly where they're going. The wind and rain are no deterrent. None of the boys venture back over into this area. To the boys, the area seems dead. It isn't a place for fun adventure and discovery without any sandy beaches to connect them to the ocean. The area had never been restricted, and it was never fear that kept them away. All the boys have unintentionally consented to a silent agreement. No one visits, nor does anyone talk about the area. It is a topic that never comes up, and no one challenges why. The boys step out of the brush and into a clear open area. Puzzled by their instinctive proclivity to linger about, they separate right to left, examining the empty area. With vacant minds, they walk around slowly, waiting for something to happen. Following the edge of the circle, they stop upon their fateful meeting. Resting between them is a large stone formation. Nathan is on one side and Andrew is on the other, each standing before the landmark, unmoved by nature's forces that come from the skies blowing through the trees. Nathan reaches out and places his hand on the stone. Lightning flashes as his fingers move across the cold, wet, smooth surface. The light lit up the whole area, illuminating what darkness holds captive. Boys are dancing in a circle around a fire in the area they were standing. This area is remembered by many to be the heartless space on the island. Nathan feels the air filled with tender spirits. Nathan is delighted to see the happiness abound. He sees all the boys together, younger and full of joy. Like a shock of looking at an old photo album, Nathan remarks out loud, "Brad is so young." The lightning flashes again. Brad is by himself, sitting on the ground, leaning back, resting his head on the large stone. The fire has burned down, leaving just a few coals and its dim light. The glow is enough for Nathan so he can see the expression on Brad's face. Nathan feels the small fire's desire, the ability to show him more. The little pile of coals is holding on to force back the dark. The lightning flashes once more. The daylight comes to tell a story about earlier times. Nathan sees the boys on the move. All the boys work together to pack their things across the island. Joe leads them away from the open area through the thick shrub. Nathan's view expands. Now he's looking up over the traveling trail of boys. Nathan releases the hold he has on the stone. "Thank you," Nathan says. Nathan shouts to Andrew, "Let's get back." The two boys return to the cave. Nathan follows Andrew, still in a daze from the things he has just seen. Nathan doesn't understand what he saw or what it had to do with finding the girl or the stone that was found in the ocean. With each step along the path, a firmer conviction to make sense of his visions settles in. He walks without thinking about where he is going. His body knows the way back, and like a horse realizing getting close to its barn, Nathan begins to run. He bolts past Andrew, looking straight ahead, but his eyes see only the stories revealed by the lightning. Nathan runs faster and faster, dodging branches, then jumping falling trees. He rushes up the hill, finally running through the entrance of the cave. He comes to a sudden stop. Andrew has fallen behind, but when he does show up, he's panting heavily. He bends over, then holds himself up with his hands on his knees. Nathan can tell fireside is over as he checks out the area. Some boys are cleaning up, and a few are going up the pulleys to their rooms. Nathan pans the room. He looks at each boy. His mind remembers their younger faces. Andrew stands straight up with even breathing. He's able to express his growing impatience. "Nathan, what are you doing? Why did we go there tonight?" Andrew questions. "That was the beginning. I saw our first days on the island. We weren't much different from who we are now," Nathan answers softly. like he's talking to himself. Yet, we're so different. What? Asked Andrew, more confused now than ever. I don't get it completely, Nathan directs his answers to Andrew. It's just that we were the same. Like we knew our roles and duties. We were so happy. That place, that open area where the stone was, that's where we had our first days here. Joe found this cave and we all moved in and never thought of that place again. Andrew, we came here with certain information in place. We had the knowledge, tools, and structure when we first got here. I don't remember anything about that place, Andrew thinks back. We weren't there very long, and it was so long ago, Nathan concludes. We were so young. It's still strange that some of the older boys don't remember, comments Andrew. Nathan reflects back to the lightning visions by the stone. He sees Brad's young face in charge of an island of boys. He thinks of the map and all the markings of the first events on the island. Could Brad have known more? Nathan asks out loud. Could he have known about the girl? If he did, he wouldn't have left. He wouldn't have wondered what was out there. He would have just known. Andrew speaks up. I'm exhausted. I have to tend to the water tomorrow. He puts his hand on Nathan's shoulder. You should get to bed too. Andrew sees Nathan is still focused. He shakes his head and leaves to go to bed. Nathan stands and watches the boys finish up their meals and games, clean up their areas, and make their way to their rooms. Nathan comprehends the sheer magnitude of Brad's given duty. It had to have been given to him, he thought. We were placed here. There was a plan or a reason for us to be here. Nathan sees that Joe is the only boy left in the center area. Joe had to have known of Brad's map. What if Joe knows about the girl? Nathan wants to ask Joe about those first days on the island shown to him by the stone. He plays out the scene once more in his mind. Nathan sees Joe by the fire. Joe leaves the fire to rest for the night. Joe walks up towards Nathan, both holding eye contact, neither willing to show weakness by looking away. As Joe brushes past Nathan, he knows he could never expect to get insight from him. If Joe did have information, he would not give it up to Nathan. Nathan turns his head, and with his eyes, he follows Joe, watching him as he walks away. At that moment, Nathan remembers the boy at the forgotten area. He looked up so innocent, open, lively, and willing. His mind begins comparing Brad and Joe, and without warning, a flood of missing fills his heart. His knees give in, buckling beneath him. Nathan has succumbed to the loneliness that follows him like a shadow since Brad has left. The weight bearing down on his shoulders renders him motionless. His focus remains frozen, unmoving. Nathan settles into the feeling as if it is his responsibility to endure. His mind remains frozen, weakened by the emotion that swells within him. No options for adjustment present themselves. Only a dark void is present, shadowing accessible, stored knowledge. Nathan wipes his face with his hand to rid himself of the persistent tickle caused by the streams of water running down from his eyes. He wipes his cheeks once more. Aware that he is crying now, he peeks up from his crouched position. He's relieved to see that he's alone. He's never been caught crying, and in that split second, he's thankful Joe has not seen him. It's enough of a break in thought to allow Nathan some maneuverability. He takes advantage of his opening and ponders Brad, Aiden, and Joshua's commitment. He considers the devotion it took for the boys to sacrifice so much. He imagines if he were to leave the island, not knowing where he was going or when he'd be back, it would take more than bravery. A faith in Brad and his choice to leave stirs within his heart. You would have to be so smart to deal with the unknown, he points out to himself. He thought of the leaders they had been to the boys of the island, and then consumes himself with the care he holds for the boys of the island. Once again, Nathan's heart swells with appreciation. Nathan notices his body has lightened and his eyes have dried up. His sadness and missing is now shifted into a love for the boys in the island. He stands, feeling stronger, and somehow Brad doesn't seem so far away. End of chapter 20.